Land can make you rich if you get it right. A land of 2 million today, tomorrow you can get it for as high as 5 million, 7 million. Land preserve wealth for those that are already wealthy.
Okay.
It can make those that are not wealthy become wealthy. My candid advice to young people out there: develop yourself, acquire skills that will generate more income. While you are trying to develop yourself, you are also making an investment.
Would you rather your child inherit a thriving business or 10 plots of land in an underdeveloped area?
I would rather give him a land.
Welcome to this week's Fact of Facts. And of course, I remain your host, Omotola. Today, we'll be talking about one of the biggest financial struggles or financial decisions people make. It might sound simple, but decisions like this shape your future. And right here with me, I have a very esteemed guest and a gentleman to share his honest opinion on the topic. We'll be talking about buying land or starting a business. Welcome, sir. Please introduce yourself to our audience.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you.
My name is Godwin Oga, and I'm happy to be here.
You're welcome, sir. Thank you for joining us today.
It's a privilege.
Oh, yes. And like I said before, today we'll be talking about buying a land or investing in business. So we'd like to hear your honest opinion on the topic. Let's start with our first question. Can land really make someone rich, or does it simply preserve wealth for people who are already rich?
I have two answers to that question.
Okay.
The answer is yes.
Yes, land can make someone rich.
Can make someone rich.
Okay.
In fact, land can make someone rich, right? For me to be explicit and to actually give details about why I said that, getting a landed property, most people buy land for different purposes, right? So if you are buying land for an investment purpose, it's going to make you rich along the line.
Okay.
But to think of it, if you want to buy a landed property, what we need to note is that buying of land generally doesn't make you rich. But when you buy a land in a strategic location,
okay,
when you buy a land in a place that has future appreciation, definitely you can make a resale of that land. You can lease it out.
Okay.
You can actually use it for commercial purposes, which will generate a lot of income at the end of the day. So land can make you rich if you get it right.
Okay, so the key word is strategically placed land.
Okay,
so how would a person know a strategic location? How would you know if this land will grow in future?
Before you buy a particular land, you actually need to carry out what I would term due diligence. You need to make findings.
Okay.
Right? So you don't just buy land. There are some things you need to find out before you buy that land. Now, what are some of the things you need to consider? You need to look at the infrastructure going on in such areas.
Okay.
For example, many people buy land around Lekki, Ibeju-Lekki and Ekpe Axis many years ago, and the land has really appreciated. Now, I'll talk about Ibeju-Lekki at the moment. We have some strategic infrastructure coming up around that area. Like we talk about the Dangote refinery.
Yes.
We talk about the new proposed international airport. We talk about the Lekki Deep Sea Port. Those are
even the coastal road.
Exactly, the coastal road. Thank you. Yeah. So if you want to buy a property, landed property to be precise, those are some of the things to look out for. My advice for people is, if you want to buy land, look at where people are going to, and then invest there. Get there before they come. By the time the people move down there, you already gain ground and occupy that space, and then your property might have appreciated. Like I mentioned earlier, a land of 2 million today, tomorrow you can get it for as high as 5 million, 7 million. So that is what to put in place or to put in mind when you want to invest in a landed property.
Thank you very much for that very detailed explanation on investments. Like you said, so when you want to purchase a land, look for strategic location and purchase a good land. Thank you very much. And let's get to the question of the day. If a young person has limited capital, is it irresponsible to lock money away in land for years instead of building an income generating venture? You know, we talked about business and buying land. So do you think a young person should lock their money away or start a business?
Before you can invest in landed property as a young individual coming up, there are some things to put in place. Number one, you need to build a skill that will be giving you regular inflow.
Okay.
You need to have something like emergency fund.
Okay.
So, but if you don't have stream of income, or you don't have means of generating continuous flows of income, it is not a wise decision to just lock up your money somewhere, because land requires patience. By the time you buy a landed property, let's look at land as a seed.
Okay.
When you plant a seed, as a farmer plant a seed, you don't expect to start harvesting immediately. It will take time before that seed will germinate. The seed will germinate, and then you begin to bear fruit. And before you know it, before you start harvesting, so that period of the seed germinating, bearing fruit, is a long process. So if you are a young guy or a young lady who is thinking of investing into landed property, my honest advice is you need to build up yourself, have a skill that will generate income for you. Okay. But if you have a capital which is you don't have any other means that money will be coming in, it is not always advisable to lock up your money investing on landed property. But rather, what our advice is, invest that money on yourself, build up yourself, have that financial capacity, and then from there you'll be able to generate more money. And you talk about investing in an asset like land.
Okay. That's you're saying that if a young person, let's take for example, a young person has a capital of 5 million naira, you wouldn't advise the young person to buy a land first.
Exactly.
The person should start an income business, a business that gives them steady income before. Build
up yourself, develop yourself, have a skill that will give you.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. So my question now is, throwing back at your answer, who wins over the next 20 years? Is it the person who buys a plot of land today in a strategic location, or the person who starts a business today?
So if I have 2 million and I invest that 2 million, right? So in the next 5 years or 20 years, like you mentioned, that income is going to double, right? It will appreciate. Buying a land is like a seed, like I said. So by the time you invest on landed property, there will be property appreciation, right? There will be appreciation, and then also you could use that land. You could lease it out. You could use it for collateral. You could use it for so many things. You could resell it and generate money. But before you do that, before you get to that point, you need to have enough income. But if you just have 2 million and there's no other income coming in, I will not advise you to put it into an investment such as land that will not really give you return immediately. Right?
Okay, so you're saying some people should delay land buying and focus on increasing their income first?
Definitely.
Okay. Okay, so right now at this stage of your life in real estate and understanding the value of investments, if you had to choose one between a land and a business and you could never own the other, which would you choose?
Okay.
You can only pick one.
Okay, one. Okay, I'll go for land then.
Okay, I was going to say a realtor and you are telling your clients to buy.
I'll go for land then, yeah.
Do you think land really makes someone rich, or does it simply preserve wealth for people who are already rich?
The answer to that question is land make you rich. It can also serve as a means of preserving wealth. Now, we have two categories of people. The wealthy and the ordinary. So what I mean by the ordinary, those that are not yet wealthy. Now, land will preserve wealth for those that are already wealthy, right? But for those that are ordinary, land can also make them become wealthy. Why do I say so? Now, if you invest in land, in a landed property, in a very good location, having future value or future appreciation, so that land will eventually multiply in value, and also it will multiply in terms of capital appreciation, and then alongside you sell that particular land, and then you are going to generate a lot of income from that land, through the profits from that land. Now let me give you this example. There's a particular man. This man is not educated, so let me just bring in that. So he's an illiterate, but this man understands the value of investment, right? So he went to a particular location. That was, at that time, people look at that as forest. It's just like today, when you tell people to come and invest in areas, I don't want to mention some areas, they will tell you that place is far, that place is this. Exactly. So the man went there first, and then he acquired large acres of land. And when he acquired that large acres of land, he fenced it round. And then before people started moving to that area, so he was the first occupant in that particular community. So majority of the landed property in that area were acquired by him. So what did man do? When people started moving to that area, he started selling in bits.
That's a
right? He started selling in bits. He can sell an acre. He began to sell plots to them. And even remember, he was not rich. He was not wealthy initially, but he had that foresight. He understood the importance of investment. So he invested. When people started coming to that area, he started reselling to them. And as I talk to you now, the children of this man, none of them are in the country at the moment. But remember, he was not wealthy. So the land he acquired, the investment he acquired, now make him become wealthy. So land can actually...
I'm sorry for cutting you. I'm trying to understand something. So this particular man, do you know him personally?
Yes, I've had an interaction with him. When we went for a particular due diligence. A company wanted to acquire some hectares of land for an estate. So we went there. We were trying to find out the history of this particular community. So eventually, that was how we come across this man.
He's like, they should give him a medal for having the best return on investment.
So then the answer, back to the question you asked. So land preserve wealth for those that are already wealthy. It can make those that are not wealthy become wealthy if they get it right.
Okay, so I want to take this question back to when you said you were going to pick land over business. If you had only one option to pick. So what's the point of owning land if you cannot afford to develop it?
Okay, so there are mistakes that people make when it comes to investment. So if you are investing on land, you are not just investing with the aim of developing it, right? Most people buy land not to develop. For example, if you are doing land banking, so your intention behind that property is not to develop it. So you can buy it, allow it to appreciate, and resell. So when you are reselling, you are not developing. It doesn't require you using your capital to develop it, right? So you are buying to resell, or you decide to lease it out to people that will be giving you annual income. So the intention of buying the property is not just to develop it. So if you buy a property, you can use it for several reasons. So if you don't have the capital to develop it, you could resell it. And then, for example, if you have like an acre of land or 1 hectare of land, right? Generally it is agreed that an hectare is 15 plots. And then you bought it, let's say 500,000, about per 20, plot? 50 years or 20, per plot. Then you bought it like about 15, 20 years ago. And then you leave it to appreciate. And then by the time you are ready to develop, you don't have the money. So you could resell. You could sell like maybe 2 acres of that land. So the money you generate from that 2 acres, you could use it to develop your own. So buying land is not just to develop it, it's for different reasons. You can do it for land banking, you can do it for several reasons.
So let me ask this personal question. Would you rather your child inherit a thriving business or 10 plots of land in an underdeveloped area?
Underdeveloped area.
You know, there are hope for underdeveloped area because everywhere every residence we occupy today has always been underdeveloped at some point. So would you rather take that risk with your child, or you rather pass on a thriving business?
Okay, 2 things are involved here. It's a personal question, right?
Yes,
so I have my own personal opinion.
Yes, of course you do.
All right, so 2 things are involved here. Like I mentioned earlier, if you get a land in a strategic location, that has a future appreciation. And then you have a thriving business. Oh, that thriving business, it means that it's doing well. The business is booming, right?
Yeah.
So, and I have to handle one to that child.
To that child, yeah.
So I cannot give you both the land and the business.
No, you have to
just one.
Yeah.
Okay, so I would rather give him a land.
Oh, okay.
So business might not be able to boom, or it will crumble. But from the question you asked, the business is already thriving, right?
It's already thriving, yeah.
All right. So what I will do, from my own personal point of view, I will hand over a landed property to my child. Yeah. Yes, because that is an asset. Because land is going to generate and create transgenerational wealth for that child.
If used properly.
Yes, if built properly. So I would rather give him or her a land.
So along the line of giving it, what will your child not eat? What will your child sustain on? Can't obviously eat the land. It's an underdeveloped land.
Underdeveloped land. Definitely before I'll give him or her that land, there are other investments, there are other options that he or she will use at a moment like that at present time, while the land is a kind of a future investment for him or her.
It seems as though you have a vast knowledge on investment and real estate. So we are coming to the end of the podcast, but we want you to give a concluding words to a young individual that just starts life, that has a small capital, how they can invest, how they can manage, how they can build their wealth. Might not be from real estate, it might be from business, might be, what do you think they can do?
Yes, my candid advice to young people out there who are just coming up with maybe small capital or small income, I advise you that you need to understand your goal, where you're going in life. So if you have capital, small income, I will advise you to do two things. Number one, you could split that capital as small as it is. You could split it into two. Use the other part of it to develop yourself, acquire skills that will generate more income to you. And then secondly, there are investments such as landed property that you can start with as little as 500,000. So to some people, 500,000 might be too big, but that's just an example. So while you are trying to develop yourself, you are also making an investment. And in real estate, you don't need to have all the money before you start investing. So you can start with a deposit, and then you spread your balance across several months. They have several payment plans up to 2 years. So what our advice is that develop yourself, try to generate more income, and at the same time try to invest. That is my candid advice. Thank you.
And also, like I would advise, what should you choose? If you are someone with a strong business idea, building a business may help you create income faster. If your goal is a long-term wealth preservation and you don't want the stress of daily operation, land may be a better option. So thank you very much for listening. We'll meet you on our next episode of Facts of Facts. Bye for now.